The impish minions of the Overlord universe haven't been idle in the 2 years that have passed since the first game, and have emerged with a host of new tricks in Overlord 2. The evil little scamps have used the time off to learn how to operate machinery, wear disguises, sail the open seas, ride mounts, and get possessed by their evil master, as well as develop an uncanny talent for attacking baby seals. These additions make Overlord 2 a more varied experience than the first game, and while some of the issues that hampered the original have been addressed, they haven't exactly been fixed. Though the minions have evolved and you're playing as a brand new Overlord this time around, the title character remains as mute and inscrutable as in the original. The game is set dozens of years after the first game, so you'll have to start your evil dominion from scratch, with the new enemy being the Roman-like glorious empire. The tone of the game is satirical, sharp, and more than just a little silly. The minions are a cackling, gleeful lot of destructive slobs who are endearing in their dedication to their master, and it's a joy to watch them attack enemies, harass innocents, and act like general nuisances. You'll be well into the game before you find all 4 types of minions, but when you do, you'll have a formidable mini-army at your disposal. All of the heavy lifting will be done by your minions, and while you'll be able to get away with sheer force of numbers in many encounters, the toughest battles in Overlord 2 will require you to think hard about your minion mix and how you deploy them on the battlefield. For the most part, your minions are dependable creatures who'll find the best path to take or attack the most present danger. They can, however, still be quite dumb, which means a certain amount of micromanagement from the Overlord is in order. Minions will often stop to pick up booty when there are plenty of dangerous enemies attacking, and some are prone to aquatic suicide by trying to pick up objects too close to water. Despite their occasional brain lapses, this time around your minions are a much more talented bunch, and the most important new trait is the ability to ride different mounts. At certain points in the game, the Overlord will be able to directly possess an underling, giving you the chance to play from a minion's point of view. These are some of the best sequences in the game. You'll also get to control some hefty weaponry in the form of catapults and arrow turrets, as well as take on enemy ships with your own minion rowed vessel. In some ridiculous but quite funny missions, you'll be able to disguise your minions to gain entry into heavily guarded areas. Individually, these specific events don't occur that often, but collectively, these welcome additions mean you shouldn't get stuck with doing the same thing over and over again during Overlord 2's lengthy single-player campaign. It's a pity, then, that some of the other additions don't work as well as your minions' new abilities. While the original Overlord suffered from not allowing players direct camera control, the sequel does allow you to manually move the view, but strangely it assigns this to the right stick on the controller, which means the poor stick has to do 2 important jobs: move the camera and sweep the minions. It gets them mixed up too often, and you'll often find yourself inadvertently moving your minions when you wanted to shift your view, and vice versa. The game's auto-targeting is similarly unstable. You'll need to press the left trigger button to target and the R stick to switch between, but it will often target the wrong person or object. In crowded situations, it will often target fleeing civilians or large objects, completely ignoring the heavily armed opponent standing right in front of you. Even the addition of a minimap, something the first version of Overlord lacked, is a hit or miss affair. These drawbacks mar what would have otherwise have been a strong game. But the time you'll have fun wreaking havoc with your minions, when everything does work, edges out the time you'll probably be gritting your teeth in frustration. The game also has 2-player competitive and cooperative modes, which you can take both offline and online, although these aren't as deep and fully featured as many modern multiplayer offerings. Even though it's been only 2 years since the first game, Overlord 2 is significantly better looking than the original. Environments are much more detailed this time around, and you'll find yourself in a variety of locations. The stars of the show, the minions, also look better, with their wiry, crooked fangs and gaping smiles, which are strangely endearing in their repulsiveness. They're also voiced with gusto, adding even more twisted charm. So despite its annoying foibles, the entire Overlord 2 package adds up to a fun game that is hampered by some real issues. If you can get past a wonky camera and are content to micromanage your minions, as well as the targeting system, then Overlord 2 is an ideal way to spend some of your spare time if you want to be a little evil. After all, you'd probably get arrested if you try and club a baby seal in real life.